One of the fundamental mindset shifts that you find yourself making when you are learning German New Medicine is you no longer are thinking of cancer as something that by nature needs to be destroyed, needs to be removed, needs to be cut out, burned out by chemical means or by natural means, that it's something that needs to be killed. You start to think of cancer really in the same way you think of a scab. You see that there is a reason, there is a function that this additional growth of cells is serving. And your goal, what you end up needing to do, is figure out what is causing my body to be in an adaptive state. In German New Medicine, there are two phases where a tumor can potentially grow. The first is during conflict activity. A certain class of tissues, embryologic tissues, during the conflict active phase is when additional cells will form. An example of this would be lung cancer, glandular breast cancer, digestive system cancers. What happens is during conflict activity, the body sees a need to proliferate cells, to have more cells to serve whatever those cells, whatever their function is, whether it's absorbing more oxygen, whether it is producing more digestive juices, producing more breast milk. They are serving a functional purpose, and so those cells will grow during conflict activity. Now, the moment that that conflict is resolved, the body goes into a healing phase. In the healing phase is when most people find out they have cancer. This is when you have swelling, because all healing happens in a fluid environment. So swelling in the area, swelling leads to pain, inflammation, you are tired, you are, just absolutely exhausted because your body is undergoing a repair process. Now, the other example of when a tumor would form would be in the healing phase. So there's another class of tissues that during conflict activity, their way that they help you to resolve your conflict is by eroding. So an example of this would be the linings of arteries, the linings of ducts, so the breast duct, the bile duct. During conflict activity, these tissues fill the need of widening the opening of the duct so that more of whatever juice flows through that duct can get to where it's going. Again, it's got a biological purpose of helping you to overcome a conflict. And now, depending on how long that conflict goes on, there's erosion of those tissue cells, there's widening. And then as soon as you resolve the conflict, the psychobiological conflict, your body sets to work doing what? Restoring that tissue, healing that tissue. And that is another type of tumor that can form. And that is really, it's essentially a healing scab. Those proliferation of cells are filling in tissue that had been eroded. And so when you start to understand cancer from the German New Medicine perspective, you stop seeing it as something, why would you destroy your body's ability to make a scab? You understand what a scab is and what it does. You know that when you have an injury, the scab it's amazing. Have you ever cut yourself and watched it heal and just said, wow, just kind of marveled at your own body? That is what is happening with cancer, only most people don't see it that way. We've been conditioned to believe that cancer, is due to, dysregulated genes and certain genes not doing what they're supposed to do and DNA damage, and that we basically have done a lot of bad stuff in our life. We've been exposed to things, we inherited things from our parents that all of a sudden now our body is doing something that it shouldn't do. And that thinking, if you think your body is doing something it shouldn't do, well, yeah, you want to get in there, you want to destroy the tumor, you want to get it out of there, you want to do whatever you can. Even when it comes to, say, healthy eating, think about it though. Do you eat healthier so that your body doesn't make scabs? Well, no, that doesn't make sense, because even if you are the healthiest person on the planet and you're eating all of the best food, you still want to, if you fall and scrape your knee, to be able to make a scab. And so that's where the thinking shifts. That's where the mindset shifts about, oh, well, I eat healthy to prevent cancer, or, oh, I do this, that, or the other thing because I want to prevent cancer. And when you start to see the first biological law is that every adaptation of the body, all of those changes, what are they initiated by? They're initiated by the psyche, by your perception, by something that you perceived in your environment as a danger. And this is awesome for actual physical dangers. If you have an actual physical danger, if there is a threat in your immediate environment, that's awesome. Your body is going to mobilize, it's going to do whatever it can to preserve your life. And as soon as you're out of that situation, your body's going to relax and go into healing. The problem is, and the issue comes in, is that we've got these minds with these amazing brains, these amazing cerebral cortexes that can have this, we have concept formation. We can think about complex things. We can think about dangers that aren't even in our immediate vicinity. And it's that capacity to think on and dwell on and perseverate and overthink and stress and worry and have anxiety about things that aren't in our immediate physical environment that causes these problems to go on for years and years and years and years and years. And that's where we have these cells that are just, they're just doing what they're supposed to do. They are saying there is a threat, there is a threat, there is a threat. What do we do when there's a threat? We proliferate or we erode until the being that we are serving is in a safe place. And once they get to that safe place, once they relax, then we go, the body is always serving you. You can trust your body. Your body, it's got no reason to turn against you. And it's just that shift in thinking that is so important when you're learning German New Medicine. So if you liked this video, please check out GNM 101, where you can learn all of the details of what I kind of gave you a brief synopsis of in this video. So thank you so much. I'll see you again soon.